What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Happy Monday. You are here on Last Take, a shot in the dark. I am Kev. Joined with me is Mr. Skip from Skip's Trophies and More, and my good friend Henry over here.
What's up, Kev?
What's going on, Henry?
How you doing? Good to
Oh,
see you again, man. Always a pleasure.
yes,
Hey,
sir.
what's up, Skip?
What's going on, brother? How's everybody, man? How was your weekend?
Oh my God, beautiful, man. How about yourself?
Hey, man, I had a full one, boy. My weekend started Friday and didn't end till Sunday afternoon at about 5.
My goodness.
I mean, I'm talking about, I didn't go to sleep. Let me take that back. The last time I got 8 hours of sleep was last night, but Friday night till Sunday, I might have slept 2 hours.
I can't remember. I can't remember the last time I got 8 hours of sleep.
Yeah, but we talking about in 48 hours. I got 2 hours of sleep. Yeah, I was running. I told you guys last week. Well, I said on the other podcast that part of my wife's Valentine's Day gift was a New Edition concert, and it was in Birmingham, Alabama. So Charlie Wilson was there, New Edition, of course, and Jodeci. So
my goodness, that's an epic.
That sounds like you trying to make another baby.
No, all my babies grown. Matter of fact, I think one of my babies might be older than you. Why you bullshit? Yeah, I got a 33-year-old. So, she loved it, man. Her and her best friend and her husband and I went down there and we had a ball. I ended up having to do the car show yesterday in Brazelton, which is an hour north of me. So Birmingham is an hour behind. So I had to leave there at 4:00 in the morning, which would have been 5 this time, to get back here to my house to get the trophies that I made for the show, and then drive another hour with no sleep. So
good.
Left the car at 1:30, went there, showered, changed clothes. I don't drink coffee. Took a 5-hour energy drink and Red Bull. Got on the road. Got back here about 7-hour time. No, about 7:38. Got back on the road by 9. Got to the place at 10:30. Started doing interviews at like 11:30, 12. Running around the track, interviewing drivers, the whole 9. Got back on the road about 4. Coming back home, and I think I finally closed my eyes like 7 o'clock Sunday night from Friday. So yeah.
How was the car show? I know you were probably tired.
Car show, man. This was more. It was a car show. They had every kind of car you could think of, from a Volkswagen Beetle to Rolls-Royce Wraith. There were all types of Lamborghinis, McLarens, Ferraris, Audi R8s, Lamborghini trucks. Everything you could think of was there. Then they had the sliders. It was geared around the guys that slide and do the burnouts, the circular stuff. And it was a huge success, I think, for it to be the first legal one. Because normally they do takeovers where they just take over intersections to do it. Then they run from the cops. So Henley is fly as fuck. Open casket show. They have started.
I told you. Like a 60s mobster.
But yeah, the car show.
Hey, so there's an open casket shark, though. Okay.
Yes, sir. Right. All you got to do is close your eyes. You're going to be clean, dead, or alive.
I guess at that point, you can't tell the difference.
Hey, Skip, I appreciate everything you're saying, man, but I hope you're ready for this because I'm finna give it to you. So you better get yourself some better make
kind of like last week you thought you had an upper hand on me and you realized that hell no I don't.
Oh man, well then fellas, let's go ahead and jump
that's exactly what happened. I ain't gonna lie. I've been thinking about it all week. Henry,
what you got on the All-Star weekend, man? Just passed.
I love the fact that the 75th anniversary, that was really nice. Like the NBA has had such an impact on so many people, and just them doing the generations, and them doing the 75th anniversary and doing it the way they did with ranking what they thought was the top 75 players. I don't know, I might disagree with that a little bit, but I enjoyed it so much. I enjoyed the game. I was saying before how much I enjoyed the All-Star games that start off with being, it's this nonchalant, everybody's playing or getting the fans involved, but at the end, they start to play. And I appreciate that. I really do, because that's exactly what happened. At the end, they got serious and they started to play. And it's been a couple All-Star games that have been like that, but not all of them are like that. But the ones that are, I appreciate them even more. because it turns into a competition, turns into a game. And even if it's team love, now I'm going to be honest, I kind of missed how it used to be the East versus the West. So the players on the East are starting five, or up against the players on the West were starting five. I mean, you guys have to tell me what you think about this team LeBron, team Steph Curry, or team Giannis, or whatever the case may be. Like, how do you guys feel about how they switch the format up like that, and why do they keep switching the format up like that?
One of my reasons, there's a bunch of reasons why I think, but the main one is because they want to see who likes who and who doesn't. And Kevin Durant he never disappoints.
Mm.
I think it was last year where Giannis wouldn't pick James Harden because he dribbles too much. Remember?
Yeah, absolutely.
This year, Kevin Durant wouldn't pick James Harden because he got traded. Because of the mix-up, the little BS that was spouted out there, which James Harden was 100% correct in that. I came to play with 3 All-Americans, all-world players, and I haven't, but 16 games.
16 games. Yeah.
You see, so one is hurt, and okay, he got hurt. And the other one is standing his ground, but for what reason? To what end? I mean, you're hurting the team more than you're helping anybody else. So, and the team is calling them, and I get it. You're supposed to take care of your superstars and all that, but you know what? This ain't what I signed up for. Get me out of here. While you still have power, because if he had been a weaker player or a lesser player, he would have had to stay there and take it, and give his all, and possibly kill himself when he's actually older than both of those guys, I think.
Yeah, he is. No, he is.
Well, I don't know. No, they both went Oklahoma together, and I think KD might be a year older or a year younger than him.
Yeah,
but either way, I don't blame James Harden, and people can call him a crybaby all they want. He did what's best for him.
But at the same time, I mean, I definitely understand that skill. But what precedent does it set when you're a superstar player and you can just force your way out of a team?
All superstar players can do it. It's just you got to have the right amount of leverage.
And that's what I'm saying. That doesn't it hurt the league a little bit more
if
you are somebody that's able to do that? So that means that you can create. Because one thing I hate about the NBA the most out of anything else is the creation of these super teams. I want to play with so and so. So I'm gonna do what I have to do. I'm gonna hurt the franchise as like I can to try to join up with somebody else that I want to play with, and then the league allows that to happen. And I don't think that that's something that's not a precedent that I don't think should be set. You shouldn't be like, because that wasn't allowed even in the beginnings of free agency. That wasn't allowed. You could just say where you want to play, and then the team does what they have to do to make sure that you go to that situation, be able to play in that situation. I just think that that's absolutely ridiculous. Like, who is in charge here? Is it the players or is it the owners?
But the thing is, for so long, the owners have had that caveat in their back pocket. You're going to stay here until your contract is up. That's it. Now the ball is in the other hand. People like yourself are saying, oh, that's bullshit. No, the owners are sitting back making money regardless. So if I tear my knees up and you won't, let's go back to Detroit. Not picking, but you don't give Barry Sanders what he needs, he has to go. See, back then he couldn't force his way out of Detroit.
He couldn't. No.
You see what I'm saying? So he had to stand there and take it or retire. So he played until he got enough money and he hauled ass. So now in the NBA, if I'm making you billions a year, or putting you in a position to make them, and you're dogging me out and you're not giving me a chance to do what every player's goal is to win a ring, hey, man, I'll tell you what, Kyrie is holding y'all hostage and y'all ain't doing nothing, so either get me out of here or I'm feigning injury also. I'm unhappy. You see what I'm saying? So the shoe's on the other foot now, and they got to deal with it because at the end of the day, Brooklyn won the trade. I don't care what anybody says. You don't need 3 prolific scorers on one team. It
doesn't work. It's only one ball.
Yeah, but see, you had Dwayne Wade, LeBron, and Chris Bosh. Somebody had to take a back seat. Chris Bosh said, I'll rebound and get and score when y'all get the ball. Nobody was going to do that between those 3. It just wasn't going to happen.
But another funny thing about these super teams is that, okay, so you had LeBron, you had D-Wade, you had Chris Bosh, but you had to have those role players also that were a part of that team too. The Mario Chalmers,
Yeah, definitely. And then Ray Allen came in and
Udonis
became a good role
Haslem,
player.
the reality, yeah, you had to have those guys too. So super teams, they're wonderful. They are what they are, but and what happened to them when they first constructed that super team? What happened to them in Dallas?
Well, that was an anomaly. You know, and I know, and everybody else that watches basketball knows that Dallas played above their heads, even though they had dirt. Even though Jason Terry is 95 years old, they should not have beaten Miami. It was bad coaching, bad decision making, and the team figuring themselves out still, even though they had a great season.
And LeBron James scored 12 points in Game 5. Let's not forget that.
You know what, man? It's always easy to pick out the one negative. But what about the other 6 games? Dwayne Wade could have scored 40 in Game 5, but he didn't. But you only pick out the biggest negative because that's your shot in the dark, so to speak. Come on, man. Michael Jordan did not have
never had 12 points in any playoff game ever in the history of his playoff run. Never did that.
The problem is Michael Jordan was playing against Craig Elo. That's who was guarding him with the Cleveland Cavaliers. Mark Price was guarding him with Mark Price, Craig Elo.
Ron Harper. Ron Harper was guarding.
Yeah, Ron Harper with two bad
young
knees.
Ron Harper.
With two bad knees. Don't forget that part.
This was a young Ron Harper.
The young Ron Harper played with the Clippers, sir.
No, I'm talking about he started with the Cavs.
The young Ron Harper, when he was a monster, was with the Clippers. Once he left the Clippers, he was nothing. So let's not go about age. Let's go about ability.
Okay.
Think about that. Jordan never had to guard the best scorer on the other team. Pippen did that. So don't go, y'all quit telling me about when he never had 12 points. Come on, man. But anyway, back to what I was saying about these NBA players, man. I'm not a Jordan fan, as you can tell. Never been. Never was a Jordan fan.
And why is that? I would like to know
because I'm a Laker fan.
Okay.
Die hard.
I didn't know that.
Can name the 1979 championship team, all 12 players. Yeah, real Laker fan, not play. Yeah, when Showtime first started, Magic was a rookie. Yeah, I can name the whole starting 5, all 12 players. I can. So I don't jump ship. Never say, well, Chicago don't fire like Jordan. No, Magic fan. James Worthy, Cooper, Michael Thompson, Norm Nixon, Kirk Rambis, AC Green, the team, the real team, the captain, when they beat Philadelphia, when Philadelphia beat them, when they used to go back and forth with Boston. No, I'm a real sports fan. I just happen to know a lot about all the teams, but no. So now that Jordan's gone, you're not a Chicago fan anymore, are you? Or you were just a Jordan fan?
Oh, I'm not a Jordan fan or a Chicago fan. No, not at all. Absolutely not even. No. I'm bad. I'm bad boys Pistons. Zeke, Isaiah Thomas, Joe Dumars, Dennis Rodman, James Buda Edwards. I can name that team too. James Buda Edwards, all of those players. I'm a bad boys Piston fan. A lot of people might not like the bad boys Piston. I'm gonna tell you just real quick about that team. How they talk about how that team was, the bruisers, and they played the game wrong on defense and all that kind of stuff. But nobody can take away from the fact that they scored 110, 115 points a game.
Well, so they might have been. If you beat everybody up,
they might have been beating everybody up, but they don't talk about what they did on the offensive end with Zeke and with Joe Dumars, with that sweet Joe Dumars jump shot and the microwave Vinnie Johnson and Mark Aguirre, and they don't talk about them on the offensive end because you got to have offense too, Skip, to go along.
And you are correct. You are correct. You got to have offense.
So I know you hate that team. You can tell me. I know you hate.
No, I'm a Laker fan, man. We got more championships than all them teams you just named.
How many? 5, right? Well,
yeah.
7.
No. Magic won 5. The Lakers have 17 now. Yeah. Magic won 5. LeBron has won 1. Kobe won 4. And I'm sorry about that. Turn that off.
Well, Skip, here's what I tell you I'm a fan of. This dunk contest.
Shit.
I saw a couple of reports that said that this could have been the best dunk contest to date.
What?
Not my words.
Man, whoever it was don't watch basketball. You gotta be kidding me. I don't even know where to start with that one.
What's your take on that dunk contest?
I watched part of it and I turned it.
I didn't even. I watched a little bit of it and I turned it to.
Let me say this to the people or the person that thinks that was the best contest ever. Look up Zach LaVine and what's the other guy's name? He played in the All-Star game yesterday. Go look up 87, 88 when Dominique went against Jordan. Go look up the year that Vince Carter won. Go look up the year when the little short guy used to play for the Knicks, the point guard.
Spud Webb.
Not Spud Webb, for the Knicks.
Oh, number 11. The dude that got knocked out in the fight. Nate Robinson. Yeah.
Go look up when Nate won and tell me about, now we're talking about minimum 10 years ago. Tell me about what they did yesterday that was better than what these guys did way back then. No, nothing.
I can't.
Nothing. And the right people weren't in it.
You just took the words right out of my mouth. It should be players that we are used to watching should be a part of the dunk contest. So, like, can you name who was in the dunk? Kev, tell me right now who was in the dunk contest.
I didn't watch any of it, so I couldn't even tell you.
Okay, Skip, you tell me when you were watching it, who stood out to you in the dunk contest?
No, nobody. That's what made me change it. There was nothing that we hadn't seen. Yes, they're more athletic now, of course, that happens. But the dunks were not as creative with the jumping ability, with what they had. There was nothing to make you say, oh, shit. You know what I mean? And I turned it. I actually turned the channel. I really did. It just, nah. What's the boy that played with Memphis?
John Morant.
John. What was he in? And you notice one thing we never talked. LeBron has never been in a dunk contest.
Not one. That's a good question. Not one.
He would have elevated the viewership on the dunk contest just by competing.
100%.
Absolutely.
And as big as he is, they would have been like, okay, you got to do something different than what you do in the warm-ups. I've heard people say that they make sure to get there early because they want to see what he's going to do on warm-ups at 37 years old. I mean, damn.
All right, so Skip, let me ask you a question. Do you know who Obi Toppin is?
Obi Toppin
plays for the Knicks.
No.
You never heard of him?
That's who won.
He won. That's who won.
That's who won.
See, there you go.
So here's a question I got for both of you.
Kev, that answers any question that you have about the dunk contest right there. I just asked Skip who the winner was, and he had no idea. That tells you right.
Fireball.
Right.
And I'm opening up fridge.
We got Fireball.
We're doing Prime Room today, so I'm doing
I'm drinking Fireball.
We all got to do that, yeah.
Well, cheers, fellas.
Wait, actually, I don't have to. Yeah, I don't have to.
That was kind of a community shot there, Henry.
All right, bet.
So here's something for you. I feel like over the last couple of years, these not even postseason games, but these where everybody from different teams gets together, the All-Star game, or in NFL be the Pro Bowl. All of it, somebody said it's losing its zest. She was talking about the NBA, of course, but I feel like they just turned those types of games into a joke.
Well, no. See, you got to change with the times. I had a talk on my other podcast. We talked with not a rival podcast, but another podcast that kind of does the same thing we do. And one of the things that was talked about was millennials now have a different view on what things need to be in order for people to attend it. The millennials would not be cool with things being the way they were back in 85, back in 95, back in 05, because things changed. Now they wear shorts just as tight as some of these jeans these guys wear. Well, it never would have flew back then. You know, with the baggies you can get. And then, back in the 80s, of course, it was tight, but that was all they had. Now these guys they want to be a fashion statement, period. Every step they make is a fashion show, or it's got to be right and tucked in and this and that. And no, I think it needs to change, and you have to give them something different to look forward to. Because all we knew was it was going to be 3 rounds. You would get 2 attempts. Now they got a clock, and you can miss as many as you want. And, old heads be like, man, that's bullshit because of what we're used to. Yeah. But it's got to change. It's definitely got to change to keep the millennials. Because with the advent of the internet now, with everything being like it is for the internet, if they get bored, what are they going to do? I'm going in. I'm going to surf YouTube.
They swipe. They swipe.
So they got to do something to keep their attention.
Yep.
And with you have the two supposedly best players in the league choosing their players, that's what it is. And it also keeps the drama up because James Harden has been at the center of the All-Star picks 2 years running now. You see what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Giannis didn't want to pick him because he dribbles and won't pass, or he dribbles too much. Kevin Durant with his petty ass, no more to be said about that. But yeah, as long as they're viable, they got to keep it going. They got to change it, in my opinion. What do you think?
I think, well, I'm going to give you a statistic real quick that I read, being as I'm an educator. They actually say that you have 15 seconds nowadays because of, phones and all the social media and all the other avenues that, stimulate your mind and things like that. You have 15 seconds to actually catch somebody's attention. So if you're trying to put something on YouTube or trying to put something on TikTok or something like that, you have 15 seconds to actually get their attention. So you have to start something big or colorful or some dancing or something like that to get somebody's attention. Otherwise, they're going to flip right next to something else. So it definitely has to change. Just saying that something has to change because it has to be something that catches, this new generation of those that are watching the NBA. It has to catch their interest. And I think that's the reason why. I guess I'm answering my own question, but I think that's the reason why it has to continuously change is because you have to keep up with the people who might not have the same mentality that you might have, Skip, or I might have, Skip, or whatever. We might look at it and be like, this is ridiculous. This is silly. And, it's no different than, when we had the doo-wop music back in the 30s and the 40s, and then Elvis came out in the 50s. What did they say about Elvis? He's horrible. He's going to ruin music, going to ruin everything.
Right,
and,
right.
But Elvis started a rock and roll phenomenon, a rock and roll generation that still exists to this day. So you have to change. You always have to change. You always have to evolve because people evolve and people change. Mindset evolves. Technology, evolves. So,
somebody said new rules don't make guys miss dunks, though.
Well, see, no, what makes guys miss dunks is they shouldn't be there.
Exactly.
Now, if you miss a dunk that has been done, or you do a 720 instead of a 360, okay, you can miss because that's kind of damn hard.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? But when you already can put your elbow over the rim, missing a dunk means you're really not into it. Whereas when Dominique and Jordan went at it, it was, I'm going to show you I'm better than you, motherfucker.
Right.
You ain't going to win here. And Dominique got cheated in Chicago when him and Jordan went at it. He got cheated.
I think he won that dunk contest.
Of course.
I think he won that dunk contest.
But it's one of those things to where every time they moved, all the attention was on him. What is he going to do now? Is he going to do the tomahawk? He's going to do, double clutch or whatever. So with these new guys now missing dunks, it's just them doing something that they know can't be done. And that's why they miss it. And then they can say, well, I missed it because nobody's ever done that.
And like you said, Skip, you have more. And like you said, you have more opportunities to miss dunks.
Exactly.
You have more opportunities.
They give him a timer. Man,
So
give him 2 opportunities.
So it's kind of like I'll go for it. If I make it, all right, that's cool. But
Exactly.
if not, oh well.
Back then,
you had,
I think what it was back then, you had 3 dunks.
3 chances.
That's it. 3 chances. So you better figure out what dunk you can do, and that might be your first dunk, the dunk you can do.
Right.
The second dunk might be another dunk that might be a little more flashy. And then when you're tied with somebody and need something really, really nice, that's when and the pressure was on for you to make that dunk. You had to make that dunk. Whether you're jumping over a car or whether you got a cape on your back or whatever it is that you're doing, you had to make sure that dunk went through the net. You had to make the dunk. And now that's kind of changed a little bit.
Right.
It's
like the year when Spud Webb won. The only reason not Spud Webb. Yeah, it was. No.
1986.
No. 1986. Well, Spud won twice. But what I'm saying is the year Kenny Skywalker won. The only reason he won that dunk was because somebody missed. They only needed, I think, 41 points. And they tried something spectacular. Yep. And he ended up winning. Now, he did some excellent dunks for that time.
And he was 5'6".
Yeah, but I'm talking about Kenny Skywalker now. I'm talking about for the Knicks. That played for the Knicks. No, he was 6'8". But what I'm saying is the only reason he won his contest was because the guy missed. In this day and age, the guy would have had another opportunity.
Exactly.
You see what I'm saying? So this is the difference between old school and new school. And us older guys have to get used to it because it's what it is.
And that's not the. And I'm gonna say this too. That's not the only topic where old school and new school clash.
Do y'all think
Let's not even get into that. Let's not even get into that.
Do y'all think that the new school kind of has made the league a little bit softer in terms of competitiveness?
No. And let me explain why I say no. The new school hasn't made the league softer. The officials have. The NBA has.
Yeah.
Now, I'm from the old school where we beat each other up. And I was that type of enforcer when I played basketball. You came in that lane, I'm going to hit you. Now, I didn't do it. It wasn't as bad as what Detroit did or Boston did when they played the Lakers, when they snatched my man out there, Kurt Rambis out of the air. No, wasn't that bad. Nothing like that, because that would have ended in a fight. But I hate to hear old school guys say LeBron was amazing in back in the day. Bullshit.
Ooh, that's good. I've heard that.
LeBron is 260 fucking pounds or runs a legitimate 4-something 40.
He would have dominated.
If Karl Malone can do it in the post, what do you think a guy that can shoot the J that is bigger than Karl Malone can dribble would have done back then? Imagine Magic Johnson with LeBron's athleticism. Come on, man.
And not only that, who was stepping out to check LeBron at the 3-point line when he's shooting threes? Because he's 6. So let's say LeBron James played against the Lakers in the finals. Who's checking him? Who's guarding?
Michael Cooper.
Michael Cooper's checking. So it's Michael Cooper. Is he coming out?
Yeah, he's coming out beyond the perimeter. That's what Michael Cooper specialized in.
Exactly.
Now LeBron would have posted him, and then James Worthy would have had to switch on it.
That's my point. That's my point. Yeah.
But see, that's the thing. And Magic did it. Magic played all positions and made teams accommodate for him. Or take accountability for him. But what I hate when people say that the guards of the day and the people of the day couldn't have played. Yes, they could have. And my reasoning is, when we grew up playing hardball. These guys didn't have to grow up that way. The killer crossover, what everybody's specializing in now, they do it. It was only 2 or 3 people doing it back then. Grant Hill, Tim Hardaway, Allen Iverson, a couple other people. Now it's commonplace. All of the other guards couldn't have stopped that. The big guard, there was only 2 or 3 big guards back then. So don't tell me these guys couldn't have played with them. They might. And see, one thing about beating somebody up, you only get 6 fouls. You see what I'm saying? There's not back the 12-man roster back then. It never went deeper than 7.
No.
A team like Detroit might have played 8 players. Might have been 8 because they had Vinny coming off. They had John Sally coming off. And what's the big guy?
Rick Mahorn
coming off the bench. So they played 8 deep. Now guys play 8, 9, and 10 deep. So don't tell me about what they couldn't have done, because when you get 5 fouls, now what you got to do? You got to let them go. You got to let them go.
You're in trouble.
And speed, power, and ability is going to kill you. So would they have beat them in a clean game with these rules or those rules? We'll never know.
Yeah.
But to say they wouldn't be playing, they couldn't have played back then, bullshit. And then you get people like Kevin Garnett. And I'm a basketball fan. Kevin Garnett was a monster for what he was. But I hate to hear him say what he would have done to somebody else, because he never did shit when he was the man in Minnesota. Mm-hmm. You had the badass point guard out of Georgia Tech. I can't think his name now.
Stephon Marbury.
Marbury. You had the one that choked the coach, Sprewell.
Sprewell.
They had a badass team in Minnesota.
Rest in
peace. I went to school with his son.
Rest in peace, Malik Sealy too.
Yeah, and you can get to the second round, but you go to
which
Boston,
is all they did.
Right, you go to Boston, and you get an aging Ray Allen, and the other hater, Paul Pierce, and all 3 of y'all, along with your bruisers, beat LeBron up, and you say we ran him out of Cleveland. We. Who is we? We made him go to Miami. Why did it have to be we? I thought basketball was a one-on-one sport. So, people like him, in my opinion, he couldn't have made it in the 80s. I don't think he could have. I don't think he was an 80s type player. He's too fucking small. They'd have beat his ass up and made him cry, and he'd have got a better jumper. But my opinion. Anyway, I had to rant about that because I don't like Kevin Garnett.
I feel you 100%. Like a Kevin Garnett, Robert Parrish matchup would have been really, really interesting. Would have been very, very interesting.
He wouldn't have guarded Robert. He wouldn't have guarded Robert. He'd have guarded McHale, and McHale would have killed him.
Well, he would.
and McHale would have fouled him out. That little jumping beam, McHale with them three, the instep, the outstep, the fadeaway bank shot, McHale would have put his ass in the basket. And they'd have had to switch him up and put him on the three, on the three. Because no. Hell no. Back to the basket, he's not that kind of defender.
Nah.
So no, nah.
Yeah, his intensity. I mean, he's a great player, and he's definitely one of the top 75. And that was. Did you agree with the top 75 that they did? Did you have a look at that, Skip?
No, I don't agree with it. I mean, it's a lot of players in today's game that just made it because there was no.
Did you agree that Jordan was number one? How about that?
No.
Let's start there.
No, I don't.
Who would you have put at number one?
LeBron.
You put LeBron number one.
Yes.
Explain.
Jordan.
What did it explain?
Because I just want to say, what'd you say, Kim? I'm sorry, because I just want to say one thing. I don't, because it's funny that we bring up this LeBron James, Michael Jordan debate, and it had to come on our show. Absolutely, it had to. But I don't think there's nothing that can top 6 Finals MVP, 6 Finals championships. I don't care what anybody says. Like,
okay, watch this. Okay,
that's it.
Now I gotta cut you off right there. What can top 11 Finals championships?
11. Yeah, I mean, going to 11 Finals. Yeah, that's.
Oh, there we go. So
hey, yo, Henry, go ahead and take a shot, my man.
No, them 6 don't mean shit.
But five NBA Finals losses. 11 going to the before.
Let me ask you a question. How many NBA Finals has Jordan been to?
6.
How many has LeBron been to?
11.
So you're saying the only reason you get there is just to win. Showing you're a great player year in and year out, 17 fucking years in a row, is not good enough.
It is good enough. It's definitely good enough, but it's not great enough.
Oh, so
it's good. There's a difference between the word good. And I'm not saying, okay, so LeBron James is great, but there's a difference between winning six NBA championships and 6 NBA finals. You're
right.
a 6-time finals winner and a 6-time MVP.
My man won 11. My man won 11 in 12 years.
Bill Russell.
He won 11 in 13 years. I'm sorry. He won 11 championships in 13 years. Now,
so why is Bill Russell not? Okay, so Skip, why is Bill Russell not number one then?
Because people like what they like. It's all opinionated. Kareem has better stats than Jordan across the fucking board. They never mention him as the GOAT. Magic Johnson and Larry Bird saved the NBA. They're never mentioned as the GOAT. So you taper these goddamn these stats the way you want to. Michael Jordan never won nothing without Scottie Pippen. He never had a Hall of Fame point guard or two guard guarding him in the finals. Gary Payton guarded him one fucking game, and Seattle dominated that game. Now they still won in 6.
Hey, Kev,
think about that.
Can I say something? Thank you, but Kev, can I say something to you real quick? Are you listening?
What up, though?
6 NBA championships, 6-0, and 6 Finals MVPs.
And I heard that the first time, but this is what
I don't know if you did.
But no, but see, I just said the man won 11 in 13 years, but you can't dispute that. So is it the number you win or the number you go to and win?
What kind of question is that? What kind of question is that?
Hang on. If that's the case, how many
is that? Of course, it's the number.
If that's the case, how many Super Bowls have the Cowboys been to? If we're counting it by that, we've won 5. So how many? If that's the way you counting it,
but y'all
talking to Henry.
I'm talking to Henry. Oh, okay. I was just gonna say.
Yeah. I'm talking to Henry. He's talking about you talk about going to.
Okay. What I'm saying is.
I'm not talking about going to. Skip talking about going to.
No, I said that. But what you keep saying this over and over, and I heard you the very first time you said it. In 6 finals trips, he had 6 finals wins and 6 finals MVPs. But that's not the most. Just because he's 6-0 doesn't make him the greatest player ever. It just gives you. Let me finish. You gotta let me finish. You gotta let me finish. Just because he's 6-0 does not mean he's the greatest finals player ever. It doesn't. If a man has 11 rings, you could shut your mouth about them 6. Yeah. If Kareem has everything that Jordan has, now he has some finals losses, but there's nothing Michael Jordan has that Kareem doesn't. Nothing.
Soldier Girl said he always had a wingman. LeBron has won with 3 different teams, all different players.
I'm not comparing wills because Michael Jordan's will was the will that everybody wants to have. They want to have the killer instinct Mike had, and I don't doubt that. I don't dislike that about him. You know, that's what everybody strives to be, as killer as he was all the time. But LeBron did do it with 3 different teams, and see, the thing is, if you take away rings, just take away those 6 finals, take away LeBron's 10, take away Jordan's 6. We're not going to talk about championships. Okay. Tell me what Jordan was better than LeBron.
What? I can't. You know, like I said, they are both right there. And I didn't.
Don't doubt that question.
I definitely. Okay, well, I definitely didn't tell you that LeBron James wasn't a great player.
That ain't the question. Take away the championships, take away the 6 finals, take away the 10 finals appearances, and tell me in what part of the game was Jordan better than LeBron? When you name one, I'm gonna name one that he was. Go.
I can't. I don't.
He's a better defensive player. He's a better defensive player than LeBron. He was. I give him that. LeBron's a better assist man. Let's go.
That's debatable too. That is.
We're just gonna have to agree to disagree on that one. It's the people want shots.
That's debatable too.
The people want
shots. Three point shooting.
The little 10 for 10 pack of Fireball.
Boy, I ain't finna hit these motherfuckers like that. This shit is bad.
We're doing Crime Roar tonight. But Skip, 3-point shooting. Who you taking? 3-point shooting.
LeBron all day. Wait a minute.
Ooh, crawl before you walk, player. Crawl before you walk.
No, I'm hitting this.
He said crawl before you walk.
I don't want you thinking all the while. I'm hitting the lower one first, and then I'm finished.
He said crawl. That was funny. He said crawl before you walk.
Have you ever drank Fireball? You drink beer. Shut the fuck up. No, this dude is a beer drinker. Shut the fuck up.
I don't drink liquor anymore because I drank too much of it. So
you
now
drink piss water. Shut your ass up. Drinking piss water.
You can't be. And how you? And that's another.
I will drink more beer and alcohol. I will drink more alcohol in beers than you can in liquor any night.
Can I have? Okay,
I'm 24 years old, sir.
I'm gonna raise my hand though. This show is called A Shot in the Dark. I meant to ask, why are you drinking beer?
I no longer drink liquor.
I have another question. Just real quick. You do realize that beer is not no shots. Like where the liquor at? You supposed to be. You the moderator.
Hey, look, hold on, Hendry. I got to side with him now. If the man don't drink liquor no more, we're not gonna force him to drink liquor.
All right. Okay.
I went on a little weight loss journey, and the liquor was adding too much weight. You know what I mean?
You look
shit,
good.
I'm down from 275 to 224, baby. I ain't mad at it.
Good shit.
You look good. Hey,
Congrats,
you
man.
look good. I'm talking shit, Kev. I'm fucking with you.
But no, I try to, whenever we take a shot, I at least try to drink half the beer. You know what I mean? So it kind of, y'all take 2 shots, I'm drinking a whole beer, and you're 2 shots. That kind of evens out.
You get a pass because it's a Modelo. You get a pass because it's a Modelo.
Hey man, they pay me for it, so I drink it.
That's what's up.
Okay, so we got off track here. We went to talk about Jordan and LeBron.
That was my fault.
No, it was me too. It was me too.
All right, we gonna switch topics here. We took our shot. Juan Howard, since you up in Detroit, right, Henry? Or since you from Detroit? Let me say that. I don't know if you're currently there.
Dallas.
Juan Howard. Okay. He punched. He punches the the Wisconsin assistant coach.
I was the head coach.
No, the assistant coach.
It was his assistant coach. The head coach of Michigan punched the assistant coach of Wisconsin.
Oh, okay. Mm-hmm.
What does that mean for the school? What does that mean for the school? Do you fire him? I think
firing him is a little bit over the top. I think so. Firing him is a little bit, but that is after. But he should be suspended. I'm sorry. He should definitely be suspended for the rest of the season. And I'm actually just looking at my live news feed right now, and he has been suspended for the rest of the season. So he's not fired. He is suspended for the rest of the season. And I think that's a punishment that is a warranted punishment for that kind of behavior. Now, you cannot punch. You cannot put your hands on anybody. You are a leader of men. It's not about basketball when it comes to that. You are a leader of men. You are developing young men. they go to your university and they play for you, not because they're, the highest flyers or the greatest shooters. You also have to develop them as men. Now, unfortunately, in college basketball right now, it's one and done or 1 and 2, and that's it. But that's the whole money. You're supposed to lead by example. So when you go recruit, are you gonna be a person that loses their temper? And is that the kind of image that you want to show to the rest of the world? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. It is that's not never can you put your hands on anybody like that. There's no excuse. And Michigan said that same thing. No excuse for physical altercations like that. Fired, no. Suspended for the rest of the season. I agree with that 100%.
Well, the rest of the season is 5 games.
No, you got the tournament too. If Michigan finds its way in the tournament, or even the NIT tournament, suspended for the rest of the season.
According to what I'm looking at on ESPN, he was suspended for 5 games.
Okay, I'm looking at suspended for the rest of. Okay, so the rest of the season, but that also leads into the rest of the season. We kind of count the tournament as kind of like the postseason.
But that's us. But LaFonso Ellis is talking about it now on ESPN. But anyway, whether he's suspended for the rest of the season or not, let's get into why he did it. Juwan Howard is a hothead.
From south side of Chicago, for sure.
I don't care. I don't give a damn. He's from New York and the hardest project in New York. Let's not talk about where he's from making him a hothead. He's a fucking hothead. He's a leader of men, like you said. He's conditioning our kids for the next level of basketball, supposedly. So this is not his first time doing something like that or making a threat at a coach.
Nope.
And in my opinion, he should have been fired the next morning. You said something about what's going to happen to the school. What's going on, Jason? How you doing? In my opinion, the school couldn't have controlled that one way or the other. Juwan Howard came on the press conference and stated he was pissed off because the man called a timeout in order to give him 10 seconds to get the ball across the court. That's why he was pissed. Not because he called a timeout to put his star players in and score another basket, but because he called a timeout to preserve not getting a turnover. That was it. He admitted to that. So you get mad at a guy because he's trying to explain to you what happened, and you punch somebody because you can't control your temper. So who am I to send my son to play for a guy like that?
Very true.
You see what I'm saying? So that's how it's going to hurt the school. And a weight parent will be like, I don't give a damn what Juwan Howard was, what he's done in his past, or what he's trying to do now. He can't teach you the right skills or leadership skills that need to be taught. I don't have trust in him doing it. You see, so in my opinion, that's what's going to hurt the school. His recruiting power, he's going to lose a lot of it because of who he is, who he's shown to be. If you're going to tell your kids, you know what, I don't care what they say, they can call you the N-word, do whatever. Your job is to go out there and score baskets. You're going to get it. You're going to punch at a man that you're 5-6 inches taller than because you called a fucking timeout. That's not a leader of men. It's a bully. And at my size, when I was in school, I fought the bullies. I never could stand it. I still can't stand it to this day. If I see somebody bullying somebody,
I gave him my lunch money.
that's what I'm saying. I was that guy to be like, hey man, leave the people alone, man. And the next day, I'm over there on his ass. Just because. Not that because I was bigger and badder, but because bullying was just something I hated. My mom was an educator. My grandmother was an educator. I should have been, but I wasn't. Long story. But anyway, I hated it because you look at what's happening now with bullies. Not to get off subject real quick, but these kids now, you can bully them on the internet. Now, I blame a lot of that on the parents because if I'm on here and you hurt my feelings, I take them out and I hate X. No more bullying. So to me, this generation is being raised the wrong way. They're so soft that everything that happens on this computer screen, it affects them one way or another. I tell my children, I have 2 girls and a boy, and they're grown now, all of them. And I say this: you don't walk away from a fight, you back away from it. And you warn them once. Hey man, you win. Now if they keep on, you defend yourself. And you defend yourself vigorously because I'm coming to that jail to get you out. And then we go see about them and their parents or whatever else. This is when they were in school.
Now you
I
get
also,
sued.
I don't give a damn what you gonna take. Shit, I mean, it ain't like I got millions of dollars.
Right.
You know, so but the point is this
Mm-hmm.
about the Jawan Howard thing. If I raise my kids to defend themselves when they are wronged, what is he teaching them?
So do you think he'll ever be able to get another coaching job? If
he will get fired.
Well, he's not
They
fired.
gonna fire him. They're not going to fire him.
If he were to leave Michigan at some point, I'm talking in the future.
No.
Is it you wouldn't hire him?
No. Number one, Jawan Howard.
Well, Michigan went to the Final Four last year. He's been a success. See, that's fine and everything. Skip what you're saying, and you are 100% correct. But at the end of the day, the university has to look at the fact that how much money is he generating, because he did take him to the Final Four. He did take him to the Sweet 16 the year before that. He has been successful. He has a lot of he has a lot of history that so many individuals are going to adhere to. But that definitely now. If I had kids, I don't have any kids right now. But if I had kids, I'm not sending them to play for him. I'm not, because for everything that you just said. But at the same time, you can't fire him because he's been so successful. Just like you let Antonio Brown have the longest leash that you possibly can give him, because you know what he's going to do on the football field for you. Like the Steelers, just real quick, because the Steelers don't deal with anybody that is a detriment to the organization. Never. If you're a detriment to the Steelers organization and many other organizations, you're out of here. We're cutting you. You're gone. We don't care how good you are. But a player like Antonio Brown gets a lot of leverage because of the player that he is. And
Dennis Rodman got it too. Dennis Rodman got it in Chicago.
Oh my goodness, come on now. Jawan Howard, I think, is going to get. And I'm going to say this last thing, Skip. I'm going to let you go. Then I think Jawan Howard is going to get that also. He's going to be suspended for the rest of the year and all that. But he has brought success on the basketball court as a coach to that university that it hasn't had it since he left as a player.
But this is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying.
I take that back. John Beilein definitely had some wonderful success with him. He took them to 2 finals. I take that back. That was wrong. But what he's doing right now is a lot to overlook. Go ahead, Skip. I'm sorry.
With the Fab Five, Jawan Howard was the 4th wheel out of 5.
Well, I don't know about the 4th wheel of the 5. I would say the 3rd. Chris Webber, Jalen Rose, then Jawan. That's what I was saying.
And King, and what was the other guy's name?
Jimmy Jackson.
Jimmy Jackson got drafted before Jawan, didn't
he? Neither one of them got drafted. They never made it to the NBA.
Okay, but my point is this. If these parents that have so much say-so in their young kids' futures and lives now about where they're going to school and this and that, like Dion swayed the kid from Florida State to come to Jackson State, nobody wants their kid to go to a school where the coach is a thug. That's the label they're going to give him, because it was a thug move. It's a thug mentality type move. So if he's not getting these 5-star players now in the future, then Michigan's going to fall right off a cliff, because these other players now are going to probably jump ship if they get sanctioned and are not able to go to the Sweet 16, or to the March Madness. What's the use of playing there? The player transfer portal is open. They're going to leave out of there like the house is on fire. And then what are they going to have to do? We got to make a decision. If we're riding on this wave of our teams making the Final Four, let's get him out of here and get another name coach in here so we can keep them 5 stars coming in. This is where it's going to hurt the school at. See, if you discipline him, you fine him $1 million or whatever. You suspend him for the rest of the season, you make the assistant coach take over. And you have him do community service or something like that. None of that stuff's happening. We're just going to suspend him, and we'll probably, give him a light fine. He's Jawan Howard, of course. No. A statement has to be made. Bobby Knight was an ass. Threw chairs all across the court and never fired him.
Also got it, but it had a leash, though. Had a leash. Just what I was saying. Another example. Had a leash.
His leash. No, he never had a leash. They got tired of him talking the way he talked, like he was president and the be all the end all. You know what? We got to fire him. We got to get him out of here. And his resume got him another job. Chris Webber doesn't have a Bobby Knight resume. You get what I'm saying? Bobby Knight
Absolutely.
could have coached anywhere in the nation because of what he did for so long. Chris Webber, Juwan Howard doesn't have that resume yet. Yeah, the last 3 years he's done something. But if he did it for 10 years, then you can say, yeah, somebody else will hire him because of who he is. No, his resume is not written yet. So no, I don't think so.
Well, like I said, Final Four last year, Sweet 16 the year before that. He's only been coaching for 3 years. The future is what a lot of people are thinking is bright for the Michigan Wolverines with him. But yes, he is a hothead. He made a mistake, and I don't think he should be fired for that particular mistake. I don't think so. To answer the question that was initiated, no, I don't think he should be fired. Skip says he should be fired. We disagree on that one.
Well, and again, real quick, and the reason I think he should be fired is because of the impact that it's going to have going forward.
Understood.
But okay.
Absolutely understood.
Well, hey,
and so the girl said, go ahead.
Skip. Okay. She said, has Nick Saban or Coach K ever had issues of this caliber? That's why they are the best and get paid out the ass.
Let me say this. This is a quick answer.
Get paid out the ass.
And I like what Jamie Stewart also said about how we give these players the leashes that we give them also for the same thing that I was just saying. You get a leash, and that is what determines your punishment. So it transcends the players as well as the coaches, I think.
But the thing is, it's not the coaches that make the money. It's the players. Without the players, the coaches wouldn't be who they are. Nick Saban said it best. I draft 5-star talent to back up 5-star talent. If you're a 4-star or a 3-star that has the potential to be a 5-star, go to Harvard. Go somewhere else. You're not coming here. You see what I'm saying? So that's why Nick Saban doesn't have the problems he's having. Nick Saban had 5 All-American running backs at one time. When the boy that plays for Tennessee now was there. There was 4 All-American running backs there, and they got in the transfer portal because they weren't going to play. So he's drafting stock, so to speak. If you get hurt,
but I feel like I think that Michigan believes that Juwan Howard is on that same trajectory. Now I'm saying that that's obviously here
Henry
and here,
shot.
But I feel like that Michigan feels like Juwan Howard is on that same trajectory. Hence the suspension instead of the firing, Skip.
Right, but like I told you when we were off air, Juwan Howard has a past resume as a player that's keeping him in place. And I told you that. He's Juwan Howard. He's an icon here. So us firing him out of the gate like that, suppose it. Now watch, if this assistant coach sues, it won't be long for him. If he sues the school and he sues Juwan Howard, it's going to be some more repercussions behind it, I promise you. Now, the presidents and the ADs are probably talking back and forth. Hey, man, let's keep this, sweep it under the rug. What we got to do is sweep it under the rug. Because if it makes any more news and he has to constantly go to court, the image of the school is going to be tarnished even worse, and he's got to go. This is just the tip of the iceberg, in my opinion. But
I do have to agree with Skip on that because Michigan is one of those schools that's held that's one of the high, top tier schools.
But I think
they hold themselves at such a high standard.
And I feel you, Kev. But I think
he has the potential to do this again. As the school, it's your responsibility to make sure that something like this doesn't happen again, if not worse.
But Skip, what do you think about this? If I'm the Michigan athletic director, am I gonna fight? Does firing him look more embarrassing because I hired him? So does firing him after 3 years look more embarrassing than what he did right now? What does that say? What does that say as me? Because another thing too, when you decide to fire and hire people, that's your job too as an athletic director or as So I got to look out for myself and my family too. Right. I hired him,
and this is where the athletic director is completely exonerated. You hired him. He took you to the Sweet 16. He took you to the Final Four. He was doing his job. Somewhere along the line, his persona came out.
His Southside Chicago.
His persona came out. Now, the resume doesn't show anger management. Juwan Howard probably never got in a fight in the NBA, not that I know of. He was probably an ideal student when he was there. So you hired him for what you know of him. People don't know about your anger issues until they come out. So you can't blame the AD for something that happened 3-4 years into his contract
Yes,
or
you
his
can.
tenure there?
Yes, you can.
How?
And I'm gonna tell you, yes, you can.
Anger?
I'm gonna tell you
We're
why.
talking about an emotional issue now.
That's fine, but I'm gonna tell you why.
Something that happens behind closed doors.
If you transcend it to a draft pick and you draft that player, forget about specific players. You take a draft pick and his emotional issues come out, and
Johnny
then
Manziel.
it hurts the team. But let me just hold on. It hurts. What'd you say?
Johnny Manziel.
It hurts the team. It's your job. You are blamed for that because it's your job to dig and find out what those emotional issues are before you. Johnny Manziel was the number 1 overall pick.
Exactly.
You have to, and it's your fault to not find those issues. They shouldn't come out. Even if you have emotional issues or whatever, you're not drafting a player that has some kind of stuff because you don't want those things to come out after you draft somebody like that. You got to dig, you got to find those things, or else you're the blame for it. Is what I'm saying, Skip. That's all I'm saying.
Henry, how often do you go out during your day when you're in a bad mood or something, and you don't show it to the rest of the world?
Never.
But see, no.
Never. And I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna take it to my job.
Let me rebut what you said.
I was just answering his question.
Go ahead, Skip.
Let me answer this question when you're done, Skip.
Okay, cool. When you draft a 17-year-old or 21-year-old, they don't have a long history for you to dig into. You can go back to his high school days. You can go back to his juvenile days and see what he was or what he's going to be, right? We're talking about a Juwan Howard that was at Michigan for 4 years, 3 years, whatever it was. Had a long tenure in the NBA. Was exemplary once he retired. So you hire him because he's an icon at your school, because he does have a basketball IQ. And you're telling me that the AD should be held responsible because somewhere in his mind, he has an emotional hang-up about losing.
I don't know about an emotional hang-up about losing. I'm saying
he threatened to kill one coach in March, and this coach he actually hit. Something's wrong somewhere. So how in the world would they have found this out if he's never been in a fight in the NBA? Not that I can recall. He wasn't a problem when he was at Michigan. So I think the AD did his due diligence by researching who he was. He never was a problem when he was in the NBA. Never got any legal issues that we know of. So now because he's gotten older, and people get cranky when they get older, he should be held responsible because the man has anger issues.
I'm not saying that he should be held responsible. I'm saying he is held responsible because he is the person that hired that individual. And if that individual, even if he dug deep and he didn't find anything, when those issues surface, it's automatically gonna be on him. Just like if I'm a quarterback, when we lose, it's on me. When we win, it's on me. So Juwan Howard, when he goes to the Final Four, the athletic director looks super good. He looks great. But when Juwan Howard is punching other coaches, the athletic director is going to be the reason why he's doing what it is that he's doing. Not specifically, but the blame is going to be placed on the person that hired him. They're going to say to him, he could go to 10 Final Fours, but they're going to say to him, why did you hire this hothead particular individual? Did you look at the fact that when he lost his grandmother right before he signed at Michigan and how that affected him? Did you look at how his issues in the NBA, whatever the case may be, like you have to dig, you have to look at these things. I mean, what goes into bringing somebody into your organization or hiring a coach specifically at your, like Kev said, this high profile organization? You look at every single, take an interview. Let's say that you're interviewing for, let's say you're going into the FBI. They are going to look at things that you did when you were 9 years old. Oh, you stole a piece of candy when you were 9 years old. We don't want you. That's the kind of in-depth interview process that goes in when you're hiring somebody at a high level like this, and he's representing the University of Michigan or Alabama or Georgia. These are not guys that you're hiring if you don't know every single thing that has to do with them. You even interview people. You even look at the character of family members that don't have nothing to do with him.
And see that part of any interview process is completely wrong.
Oh, you saying that they don't do it wrong? Or you saying
wrong? If you do that, you will never have anybody do. Name somebody that has a non-family.
Come on, Skip. I can't do that.
That's exactly. So you can't say
I'm not athletic director hiring people. Skip. I'm gonna tell you something, Skip. If I'm hiring this I'm sorry, I keep on. If I'm hiring you for anything, I'm definitely gonna look at your character. I'm gonna look at your past, but I'm also gonna look at the past of individuals that you are associating with.
And I wouldn't be hired. I wouldn't get hired.
Hey, well, then
I
you wouldn't
wouldn't.
get out.
I can tell you that right now. I'm a convicted felon.
But I will tell you this though, and of course, but I wouldn't. Well, that's unfortunate. That's a conversation for another day. Why convicted felons shouldn't be hired? Because I mean, please, that's conversation for another day.
There you go. But that's what I'm saying. See, so the background means a lot. But watch this real quick. One quick comparison, and then you can answer his question. Should Bill Belichick be held responsible for Aaron Hernandez?
Absolutely.
I think yes, absolutely. Yes. Not Bill Belichick. No, not Bill Belichick.
Why not? He's the general manager. He was the general manager that drafted him.
Yes,
And
I think
Hernandez
so. Yes.
was a problem in college.
Okay.
Yes, I think so. 100%. Yes, I think so. So.
Okay, just checking because I want you to see how it looks from the other side.
No, I think so. I think he just and if
but
you,
how many times did they say, Bill, why'd you draft him? How many times did you think that? Did you think that?
When he was playing?
No. When he found out Aaron Hernandez is a fucking killer, how many times did you say in your mind, why are they not blaming Bill Belichick?
A whole bunch of times.
Get the fuck out of here.
A whole bunch of times. That's the whole reason why I'm saying what it is that I'm saying right now. That's just another example of what I'm saying right now. They made a mistake on Aaron Rodgers. And if you read about conversations that Bill Belichick or interviews that Bill Belichick has had in regards to Aaron Hernandez, you will see that he will admit himself that they made a mistake by not doing their due diligence to find out what his true character was. Read into that, Skip. Look into that. Don't just bring up somebody like that.
It's been proven that these things will happen years later.
See, this is my point. He just made my point for me. When Aaron Hernandez first got arrested, Bill wasn't questioned one time about what this man's character was when he drafted him. Not once. This was 5-6 years after the man committed suicide. So don't tell me about what an AD has to go through when Juwan Howard has an emotional issue that you really won't find out until he actually exposes it. No, it just doesn't make sense. Think about what I'm saying. I get where you're coming from. Mm-hmm. He should be held responsible for everything that goes wrong. My football coach used to tell me in high school real quick. He said, hey, man, when y'all win, y'all take all the glory. When y'all lose, it's my fault.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So I get what you're saying, and that's the way it should be. But that's not the way it is. How many ADs get fired because their head coach went and got in a fight or a brawl? Well, we haven't seen head coaches get into that kind of shit, but you understand what I'm saying? ADs don't get fired because their coaches do stupid shit. They get fired because their coaches lose. Bottom line. That's why they get fired. Or they're not bringing the right draft picks in, or they drafting busts. You see what I'm saying? So I get what you're saying, but okay. Hey, look, y'all quit talking about shots. I'm really drinking Fireball tonight, y'all.
Hey, let's go to everybody. Mister, this for you. Mister, this for you right here, man. This for you. Even though I took it, this for you, Mister, right here.
Look, I'm almost done. I'm gonna take this last little bit out of this one, and then it's on to this one.
That ain't even like a teaspoon of liquor in that bottle.
See, the one
no, but you're right. I mean, I feel where you come from, Skip, and a lot of people on our chat definitely agree with you, saying that a person's past, shouldn't dictate, their future, and if you make mistakes and all that kind of stuff, you shouldn't. It shouldn't be you should. But if you're hiring somebody to represent something that is nationally spotlighted and is going to be viewed upon as a certain in a certain light, you need a certain person to be a part of that, because you need to know exactly what their character is. And I would love to hire somebody that was whatever to coach Michigan, but right. I am not going to hire somebody that's going to coach Michigan, or I'm not going to hire somebody that's in the FBI, or I'm not going to, because I used that example before, unless I know every single thing that there is to know about, not just them, but the people that surround them, the people that, because it's that high profile of a job. Is it wrong? Should it be like that? Absolutely not. But it is, because my job is on the line if, in fact, this particular individual makes a mistake and punches another coach.
But see, if you get that nitpicky, then the FBI would only have 10 to 20 people in it. Because just like there's dirty cops, there's dirty FBI agents. And they sweep them under the rug when they find out, because the job is so high profile.
But I'm gonna tell you something. Out of all I'm gonna tell you, a cop, a police officer is a lot easier to turn than an FBI agent, and it's because the FBI does their due diligence way more. I could be a cop right now if I wanted to tomorrow. Fill out the application, go to police school. I could do that right now. I don't,
You know why?
But I can't be an FBI agent because I have a record.
Right. And I
tried
get
to
it.
be a cop. They said I smoked too much weed.
And you definitely couldn't be an FBI agent because you smoke too much weed. And I'm be honest with you, I ain't having you investigating shit with your high ass. Tell you that right now.
Look, buddy, there's two things I'm good at in life. That's selling beer.
Not that
and
I don't
drinking
love
beer.
being high and I love weed. Hey, that's conversation again for another day. But I'm not finna be. I'm just saying prestigiousness. Like, take your president for instance. Are you voting for somebody if you don't know the ins and out of that individual?
Whoa! Wait a minute! Don't use that example. Don't use that example. Trump made it to the White House, and he's a fucking womanizer.
That's because democracy is what it is. Democracy is a double-edged sword. Democracy has its consequences. Does it not?
Okay. Well, let's not use that.
Democracy. Barack Obama tell you that right now. Democracy has its consequences.
Politics
that's the good thing about democracy. You vote.
No, I had to throw that in there because.
And then if they turn out to be who they are, and I'm not saying anything about Trump supporters because you're entitled to.
Henry. Is Aaron Rodgers staying in Green Bay?
See, that's what I'm saying. This is why I probably shouldn't be a part of this. Bay? No, he's gone. He's done. He's done. He's been disrespected. He's been disrespected too much.
Devontae Smith is talking about leaving too.
If Aaron Rodgers leaves, then Devontae Smith is out of there too. But what I'm saying is not Devontae Smith, Devontae Adams.
Devontae Adams. I'm sorry. Yeah.
Yes, but he's been disrespected too much by that organization. They have still not provided him with the weapons that he should be provided. Number two, and also, I think that still is a bad taste in his mouth that they didn't give him that ball in that NFC Championship against Tampa Bay Buccaneers when they decided to kick the field goal instead of putting that ball in his hand at that fourth down situation. Give him that ball and let him win the game for you. You kick a field goal, and then you give Tom Brady an opportunity to come down the field and win it. We talk about Tom Brady. You give Aaron Rodgers that ball, and you go in there and you score that touchdown. That's still Matt LaFleur, bad decision, and that left that sour taste in his mouth, and he's done. He's out of there. He's done. 13-3 record, notwithstanding, which they did last year. Great. Well, what happened in the playoffs? And matter of fact, what happens all the time with Aaron Rodgers in the playoffs, Skip? Answer that question. What happens to Aaron Rodgers in the playoffs all the time? What does he do? He underachieves.
Skip, I'm going to let you finish, but Henry, the comments say you need to take a shot after talking about politics.
Oh, my God.
The ship went way left.
But hold on. He just said the president, and then I said about Donald Trump being got elected. Come on, man. Y'all, we can't just take shots because everybody say take shots now. Goddamn. Skip about to tilt his head back and forth.
I have no problem with that. Hey, listen, anybody tell me to take a shot, I'm taking a shot. All I said was that democracy has consequences. I'm not talking about Donald Trump. I'm not getting politically like that. So I'm not saying that Donald Trump was whatever. I'm not doing that.
He was
I'm not getting into politics like that. That's too much of a slippery slope. I don't do that.
It is. I do. If somebody don't agree with that, goddamn it, we can go. But back to the subject. Aaron Rodgers, in my opinion, if either him or Devontae Adams leaves, the other one's gone. Period. They will not stay there without each other. I think Green Bay and San Francisco are going to make a deal where San Francisco gives up a draft pick or something, and they send a Garoppolo over there with a draft pick or an inconsequential receiver or what have you, and Aaron's going to come to San Francisco. I heard some people say something about him going to Pittsburgh, crock of shit. Him going to New York, crock of shit. Because those are not systems that fit him. You have to go somewhere where he runs the offense. He dictates whether you need to hand the ball off or you have the weapons to throw the ball to. There's no weapons in Pittsburgh, or one. But and New York, we talked about that, but there are teams, Saints, the 49ers,
Steelers,
the Cardinals, because I think they're on the outs with their quarterback too.
Why
There's
would
no
they
way.
stay
There's
with
no way
Jameis
that Aaron
Winston?
Rodgers is coming into Arizona
Let me ask you a
and
question.
replacing Kyler Murray.
Why didn't Tampa Bay stay with Jameis Winston?
Because he threw 30 interceptions.
Exactly, and he threw 30 touchdowns.
But he threw 30 interceptions.
Right, but that's the reason why. And they knew they had a good shot at getting Tom Brady. But the thing is, Jameis Winston now is on the bottom end of his career, and Aaron Rodgers is probably older than Jameis, or just as old, and 100 times better. That's why they wouldn't stay with him. You just want to go to 49 based on opinion, maybe. No, it's not biased. It's just that's what it is. He'll be home. They've already talked about it before in the past. What commentators have anyway.
This is the most biased comment I've ever heard in my life. The 49ers. Come on, man. Really? He's not going to the 49ers. Not going to
LeBron. They said LeBron wasn't going to the Lakers.
Oh.
Didn't they? Mm-hmm.
He's not going to the 49ers, Skip.
Okay. I mean, if he don't, he don't. I mean, we got Trey Lance. So it's not like we going to be.
And that's why he's not going to.
Henry, where do you think he would go then? Where do you think he's going to go?
If you say Pittsburgh, we're going to kick your ass off this show.
As much as I hate to say it, Pittsburgh, he has a relationship with some of the organizational individuals in Pittsburgh. And he's actually been linked in some of the articles that I've read. He's actually been linked to Pittsburgh.
The GM
it might not be out there like it is, but there's a very, very, very good chance, Skip. You heard it here first, that he could go
first. And this is the last place you're going to hear it, because the GM just gave his vote for Mason Rudolph to start to be the starting quarterback
right now. The season doesn't start for another 7 months.
There ain't too many teams that Aaron Rodgers can't go to and walk right into the starting position. So let's not mention Mason Rudolph like he's just top tier, because he ain't. They mention that because they have nothing else right now. Exactly. Come on, man.
Exactly.
And he ain't going to Pittsburgh, but Mason Rudolph, shit. Aaron Rodgers could play that in the wheelchair before they start Mason Rudolph over him. But anyway,
I can't believe it. Why did you even bring up Mason Rudolph? They said that for him?
He thought that was going to deter.
There's GM said that he gave his vote of confidence to Mason Rudolph.
Of course, because they have nothing else.
Mason Rudolph.
I'm gonna tell you who'd be good in Pittsburgh. Jimmy Garoppolo.
That's biased again.
You don't have to throw the ball. Huh?
You know what? Hey, I'm gonna tell you something. Hey, Skip, how about this? You know where I think he gonna go right here. Oh, let's start here. How about that?
No, y'all still got Jared Goff.
I mean, if we speculate where he gonna go, if he going to San Francisco, then why I can't be just as biased and say he gonna go right over there? I keep mixing it up. Right over there. Then.
You said he's gonna go to Dallas, knowing damn well that they're not gonna give up that.
Maybe he gonna go to Dallas then. If according to Skip, maybe he gonna go to Dallas then.
Watch this. When's the last time Detroit signed a free agent quarterback with a name?
Here we go. See, here we go.
You just said he could go there, so let me.
I was talking shit, being biased like you was being biased. It was a joke. I was talking shit.
But we have this big ass magnet over there that's attracting him. Detroit doesn't have a magnet at all.
Now I'm done early, man. I'm sick.
Skip, where is Aaron Rodgers from?
Man, for real.
I think he's in California. He's in California.
Talking shit, huh?
He's a California boy.
I mean, it would make sense for him to go to the Niners. He's getting older. He's getting towards the end of his career. He could go back home. He'll probably play, 2-3 years with the Niners and then just go ahead and retire. He's already in California.
I think he only has 2-3 years left, period.
That man looks so depressed when he is on the field. I don't know if anybody else pays attention to Aaron Rodgers' face.
Stop that. Stop that.
That man looks so sad. His eyes are always bloodshot.
The man won the fucking MVP.
He did. Oh, he did.
So where you get this depressed shit from?
He looks so tired of being at Green Bay. You see it in his face. His eyes are always bloodshot red.
You see what he's saying?
What was that? What he say?
He looks tired of being at Green Bay when he's on the field. When that man is on the field, he has fire in his fucking eyes. That's why they won 13 fucking games.
I will go pull up pictures of him, and you will see he looks like he is tired.
I don't know about him looking like he's tired when he's on the field, but I know for a fact that he's tired of being in Green Bay, and his time in Green Bay is done.
And he shows it. That's what I'm saying. He shows that he is done with Green Bay.
Because Green Bay has consistently disrespected him. I mean, this is the I don't know, the top quarterback in the league and has been for the last 12, 13 years, with the exception of a Tom Brady. And he has been disrespected over there. They have not provided, and then they drafted a quarterback to replace him. 3 years ago, 4 years, I don't know how many years ago was that, Skip. They drafted a quarterback to replace him when he's in his prime.
Didn't they draft him to replace? Didn't they draft him to replace Brett Favre?
They did.
Okay, so that's history, right? That's a resume, right? So don't get mad now.
But Brett Favre was not in his prime when they drafted Aaron Rodgers.
Man, Aaron Rodgers ain't in his prime no more, man. He's just playing well above his age. Well better than what his age.
They drafted Jordan Love. They drafted Jordan Love how many years ago? 4? Was it 4 years ago?
Now, right. Oh, you talking about when they drafted him? Oh, I thought you were talking about now.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And I think when Aaron Rodgers was drafted, Brett Favre was. See, I can't attest.
It could have been about the same way. It could have been about the same way where Brett Favre still was on the top end, but still playing at a high level.
Exactly.
But no, I feel like this. You know what the situation was when you got drafted. You saw how Brett felt. Why'd you think it wouldn't happen to you?
That's a good point. That's a good point.
You see what I'm saying? So we were talking about this earlier about the AD looking into backgrounds. I mean, if what happened to somebody else, why do you think you're too good for it to happen to you? And it did. Green Bay was preparing for the future, which most teams do. It's just that his future hadn't been decided yet. He was still ascending. You see what I'm saying? So, whatever.
But I guess the last thing I'm going to say about it, and I don't want to take away from the fact that Stephen A. Smith always says that he's a bad man, which he is a bad man. But in the playoffs, I don't think he's a bad man, and I think that sometimes a little bit. I mean, I'm just saying, skipping the playoffs, he hasn't been. I mean, he has one Super Bowl. Shouldn't he have more than one Super Bowl? Would you agree with that? One Super Bowl in 2000.
Yeah, of course he should. Of course he should.
Because he's been a number one seed in the playoffs several times, and he.
Right.
So do you blame that on him, or do you blame that on coaching?
I blame it on. I blame it on him.
Oh no!
I blame it on him.
And now I want to close this subject out.
I blame it on him.
Aaron doesn't play defense. Aaron doesn't catch the football. Aaron doesn't block, and Aaron doesn't play on special teams. It's 4 parts to a football game. Don't forget that part. So if Aaron played all 4 of them, then you can blame him. See, Jordan can be blamed for losing a ring. Or LeBron can be blamed for losing in the finals because he plays defense, he plays offense, he plays every single part of the game. But for a person to play one position in a 22-position sport, you can't blame him completely for a loss. You just can't. There you go.
Obviously not.
Henry, I think that's a shot, man.
What the hell? Y'all killing me with this shot shit.
At least I love you. I said Henry, but hey, you can go ahead and drink up too.
We're gonna drink together. When it's a shot, we just take a shot together. We're not just doing that individual shit.
I mean, obviously he's.
You don't want to be left out. I hear.
No,
come
it ain't that.
I don't know. Obviously he doesn't. You win with the quarterback.
Next week. No, you win with defense. So stop that. You win with defense. It was proven last Sunday.
The defense wins championships.
You win with defense. So stop
that.
Yeah, well, I'm sure Matt Stafford didn't have nothing to do with that though.
Okay, speaking of Matt Stafford, Henry. Rams hired Liam.
You know what? I gotta go. I
O'Neal.
got something to do, man. For real, I gotta go, man. For real. We can't talk about Matt Stafford winning the Super Bowl. We can't do that. I'm gonna see y'all next show. Hey, Skip, it's been fun. It's been fun. I love both of y'all, man, but I gotta roll out before we get to this topic, man, because I ain't finna cry in front of all of my fans out here, man.
Let me hear
the fans that I hope to generate right now.
Okay. Anyway,
you might not have to worry too much.
I saw a question in the comments that said, "Is Steph Curry an alien?" No,
he got booed the other day.
Of course, he got booed in Cleveland. When LeBron was in Cleveland, Steph Curry acted an ass every time he played Cleveland. He was a big ass bitch, crying about fouls and acting as if he could guard LeBron, acting as if he wanted to fight LeBron. Yeah, I boo his ass too. Shit, T.O. got booed in San Francisco. I mean, but anyway, I don't think Steph Curry's an alien. I think Steph Curry perfected his craft. His dad was a sharpshooter.
Absolutely. Del Curry was a great three-point shooter.
From the beginning of time, for him, he learned to shoot the right way.
Yeah.
And in doing so, he learned how to dribble and pass and see the whole court. So he was taught as a professional from the beginning. So no, he just honed his skills and he perfected what he needed to perfect to get him where he is now. That's just it. John Morant put his goddamn head above the rim. Does that make him an alien at 6'2"? Hell no. Spoiled Webb won a dunk contest. He wasn't considered an alien. He did what he does best. That's it. He can shoot. There you go. Because if it was that easy, there'd be 30 people doing it. It ain't.
And not only the fact that, you know, he's coming to the league and he's something that the league has never seen. And that's definitely happened before, too. Players that came into the league that the league had never seen, that transcended and changed the league. And he's just the next example of that. And John Morant might be the next example after him. I was saying this when we was off the show also, about how the fact that the NBA changes, the faces change, the stars change. Kobe Bryant's gone. LeBron James is going to be gone, and now you got Giannis, and you have all the Steph Curry, all these other stars stepping up. It's going to be other stars that come into the league after them that are going to change the game. Who's going to change the name? The big man doesn't even exist in the league no more because of Steph Curry and the threes that he shoots.
No, they exist. They just don't exist with teams that have hell of shooters.
Yeah. Okay, thank you very much. I mean, I don't think it's going. What I meant was going inside for a bucket at the end isn't the same as what it was.
Right. No.
Back when the big men were actually playing.
But with a team like Milwaukee, a team like Philadelphia, a team like who else has a good big man? Utah.
Denver Nuggets.
Denver. You see what I'm saying? They have viable big men. So it's not going away. It's just that you have to make it work with what you got.
Right, but that was 5 teams that you named.
Yeah.
With the exception of a Karl Anthony Towns, maybe in Minnesota. That's 6 teams that you just named that have viable big men.
Well, there's more. I just can't think of off the top of my head. But we're talking about those 6 teams have superstar big men. Mm-hmm. There's a difference in a big man and a big man that can take over. Because most of these big men I'm talking about, with the exception of Karl Anthony Towns, have been in the MVP conversation. At one time or another. Matter of fact, your boy Philadelphia is the leading MVP.
He could win it this year.
Yeah, exactly.
He could win it this year.
So no, I mean, it's just that systems. We were talking about it with Pittsburgh and New York. If the system is built, geared, the offense is going to be geared around post ups or big men, then that's what it is. Golden State never had a presence down low. That's why Draymond Green is getting such big play. He's only 6'7", maybe 6'8".
Right.
He's small for a 4.
He is.
You see what I'm saying? And he can shoot. So you stretch the floor with them and you create mismatches. But when Draymond Green got hurt or got suspended, Cleveland came back and won championship because he wasn't there. We're not talking about a guy that averages 30 points a game because Steph was on the floor. You see what I'm saying? So if big men are not extinct, and they're not going to ever go extinct because of shooters. But you just got to look at how the makeup of the team. You got to play to what you got. You got to play to your strengths, and that's what these teams are doing now, in my opinion.
Hey, well, real quick, everybody, I just want to let you know that Last Take, A Shot in the Dark, is brought to you by BlackFridayAllTheTime.com.
And y'all need to go on Black. And, okay, real quick. And BlackFridayAllTheTime.com, guys, if you guys go there, if you put in the code ACC22, you get, I think it's 10% off or 20% discount on anything you order. So remember that. Black Friday all the time. BlackFridayAllTheTime.com. And on Instagram, it's Black Friday _all_the_time on Instagram. Or is that Twitter? Either or. But anyway, y'all go check them out.
That's what's up.
Hey, real quick. Rams hired Liam Cohen to replace Kevin O'Neal at OC. Just won the Super Bowl. You're bringing in a new offensive coach. What can that do for your chances next year?
Nothing. The Rams won't be in the NFC Championship next year. Come on, man. They shouldn't have been there this year.
The Bengals technically shouldn't have been there either, though.
You're right.
They were a dropped interception away from not being there this year.
Exactly. Exactly. They shouldn't have. I mean, don't get me wrong. They earned it. I'm not hating because I'm a 49 fan.
Me neither.
But
me neither.
If these guys played like they should have, or did what they had done to get them to where they were, the Rams didn't do enough to win that NFC Championship.
I don't think so either. I agree.
They did not. They won it because of one bad call, in my opinion, and a dropped interception. But like you said, it was destiny. Aaron Donald deserves it. Odell Beckham deserves it. You know, everybody that won one deserved it. So I'm not hating to that point, but
nope, me neither. Sometimes dropped interceptions or penalties or you know, mistakes that are made by the defense are what allows you or propels you to a victory. That's football. It is what it is. The other team makes mistakes, and you know, at certain times, and you don't, and that's what leads you to victory. There's been Super Bowls. I'm pretty sure that I can't think of anything specifically like that, but I'm pretty sure that, you know, in Joe Montana's run or any other quarterback's run, dynasties probably could have lost certain games if it wasn't for a certain call or a certain mistake on the defense. It happens. That's the whole thing.
Look at the Seattle New England.
Like you can have, like sometimes you get. I'm gonna see if you agree with this, Skip. I'm gonna see if you agree with this, Skip. Sometimes you can have the strongest offensive team and the strongest defensive team, but sometimes you need some luck.
New Orleans Saints when they beat the Colts. The New Orleans Saints when they beat the Colts. The onside kick. That's what won them the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Colts had the better defense. They had Bob Sanders the whole nine. And they had Peyton Manning. You ain't got to say no more. But the Saints won. That's one of those ones where you just played above your head. The coach made the right call, called them off guard, got a Super Bowl, got a touchdown. Exactly. Went up by two touchdowns, and that was enough.
That's exactly
to hold them
saying.
Off.
Luck, definitely luck. Being able to survive injuries. There's so much more that goes into winning the Super Bowl than just how your offense is and how your defense is, for sure.
Help, I'm addicted. Don't you bring your ass on this show fucking with me, player.
They just follow you around this network, don't they?
I'm a bad motherfucker, man. How many times I got to tell you that? Help, you need to help him with his announcement. Do like a voiceover. No damn voiceover. Shit.
He said do like a voiceover. Oh, man. That would be easier, though, Skip, to just do a voiceover.
Damn all that.
That way you can have it straight. The whole time. You just push a button and you good. You ain't even got to worry about it.
No, I don't want to push no button. I want to say it. But anyway, yes, sir.
Did you hear about this scandal with the Cowboys?
No.
Oh. So there was this guy. His name is Rich. It's real hard to pronounce his last name, but he's been around since Jimmy Johnson was the coach. He's just kind of one of those in the background type of guys. Allegedly, there was an incident where he peeked his phone around the corner and took a video of 4 of the Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders.
Yeah, I did hear
about that. I did hear about that. Yeah, I heard about that.
Jerry Jones paid him out $2.6 million the other day. This happened in 2015.
That was to the cheerleaders, though, wasn't it? The $2.6 million was to the cheerleaders.
Yeah, it was to those cheerleaders. But this happened in 2015.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess the question is, should Jerry Jones be in any type of trouble for just sweeping that under the rug? Because he paid them at first. I forgot to add that. He paid them already.
Right. But the thing is, this is I'm going to use this term because I ain't going to get in trouble, but that was a blackmail situation in my opinion. You paid them to hush them up, and it wasn't enough money. Now, either you give us a sufficient amount of money or we're going to make a scandal and go to court. I dare you. So they did it, and his power and money and influence kept it going for 7 years. Now, in his opinion, if I draw it out long enough, the lawyer fees are going to be so high that whatever I pay out, the lawyers are going to eat it up. 50 Cent did that. When he filed bankruptcy, when he had to pay this girl his money or whatever, he drug it out forever, and the lawyer fees ate the money up. And he laughed about it. So that's just my opinion. I could be wrong, but when you have money and power, man, you stretch shit out. Donald Trump was due to go before the board. Huh?
So he's seen it with Usher a couple times.
He did what?
Never mind. Continue with what you were saying.
You're slurring your speech, man.
No.
So what did he do? He was doing what?
He was okay. So there was a wall, right? You know, you go into the cheerleader changing room, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And he literally, like, if the wall's here, he just poked his cell phone where the camera could see. Like, he wasn't just standing there recording them. He was, like, trying to hide it. And he got caught. Of course, the women, they saw the camera coming around the corner, and he got caught. So then Jerry Jones paid them and swept it under the rug. And now it's coming back out, and there was a lawsuit, and he had to pay him another $2.6 million, which, I mean, split between 4 of them. You know,
that's still a lot of money when you only.
That's still a shit ton of money. I mean,
$150 a week.
Yeah,
because NFL cheerleaders don't make but $150 to $200 a week. All of their money comes from endorsements. All of it.
Because they get their travel and expenses paid for. I'm guessing. Yeah,
but that's nothing. I mean, what's that?
Right.
You go get a plane ticket. You land. You go out there, shake your ass, and you fly back home.
For 16 weeks out of the year.
You know what? I'm gonna tell you something, Skip, man. I really think that a whole lot of NFL cheerleaders will have a huge problem with what you just said.
It's the truth.
That's something.
But I didn't lie. But I didn't lie.
I didn't lie. On that. I think it's a lot of cheerleaders in general that will have a problem with what you just said.
Exactly. And it can sound like you want it to sound, and you can misconstrue it or twist it how you want to. But the fact is, it's common knowledge. They make no more than $500 a week. They have to practice 10 to 12 hours a day. The only money they make is off endorsements. That's why it's so hard to be a Dallas Cowboys cheerleader, because they are the most popular cheerleaders on the planet. So when you make it, you are consumed with being a certain weight, a certain size, so you can model those swimsuits, so you can appear in those cigarette ads or whatever else.
That actually starts in college, Skip.
We're not talking. I'm talking about pros now. Like, you have mothers that are cheerleaders. You have some of these women have lawyers or whatever else they do. They choose to be a cheerleader for that one shot at fame, so they can get that big break or whatever. You see what I'm saying? So they can be mad all they want to. I didn't lie. They did a documentary on it. Come on, man. Whatever. I mean,
they got their own TV show, and they show how hard it is.
Yeah, I was just about to say,
and all the shit you got to go through.
Yeah, I was about to say, I don't know, other than what I saw, which was extremely difficult. I mean, I couldn't do it.
Oh, it's hard to be one. I'm not saying it's not hard. What I said was they get paid a menial amount of money to go to the airport, fly to the game, separate from the team. They show up, they get ready, they shake their ass, cheer, do whatever in the cold weather. Think about this. The motherfuckers be naked in Green Bay. There ain't enough money in the fucking world and zero. But anyway, they do that, get back on the plane, go back home. Now, they still have their endorsements and appearances they got to make and all of that shit to make their money. But to me, it's dead end.
But and once again, I was going to say this also before. I take offense to the shaking their ass part, like, and I think a lot of them will take offense to that. Like, Skip, you got to think about.
I get that part. I get that.
You got to think about what is now. They don't just go out there and shake their ass. They have.
But is that what they're doing?
They work on.
Exactly.
Or how I don't know how long they work. I know I can't do one of the routines that they do. So to say that they go out there and shake their ass is not a good comment and not something that you need to be saying when it comes to something that you might not have 100% knowledge about.
And you're correct. I
think you should apologize.
Now see, hold on.
Or at least I'm gonna take a shot with you because I'm gonna go with you.
I'll take the shot all day, but let me tell you something.
All the cheerleaders out there,
I don't give a damn if all the cheerleaders on the platform watching. Good. But see, Skip gonna take full responsibility for anything that come out of his mouth. If they were not shaking their ass,
they wouldn't be getting paid.
They wouldn't be getting paid. When they're in those outfits, regardless of what you consider the definition of shaking ass, when they do like this, their ass moving. So they are literally shaking their ass. If they were fat and all out of shape, whatever, would anybody pay to see them?
They'd be shaking tummy.
Thank you. Exactly. So you get in all this shape, and you got to be so shapely and curvy or whatever. You get paid to shake your ass. That's the bottom line. Yeah, you got to do flips and tumbles and all of that, and look good with the pom poms and have the perfect hair. But at the
Hell,
end
they
of the
do that
day,
in Magic City.
at the end of the day, you shaking your ass. Now, I didn't say you was out there getting butt naked and stripping.
I seen some bullet holes in some girls in Magic City.
No, not in Magic City. Maybe in the Blue Flame.
Not Magic City. Yeah, not Magic City.
Definitely.
Right. Not Magic
Blue
City.
Flame,
No, not Magic
definitely.
City.
Nigga, Magic City, boy. Hey,
And they
look,
got them motherfuckers in the club.
dog. It's some girls in Magic City that make you say, "What the fuck is you doing here?" You know what I mean? Like, bitch, for real. But
And I like what Soldier Girl just said is if you're gonna reveal skin and dance, then you need to make some real money. Well,
wait a minute, hold on, Soldier Girl. Wait a minute, Soldier Girl. I've been seeing your TikToks now, all right?
yeah, I ain't seen them. I haven't seen them.
Hey,
No, I'm just playing. I'm just playing. Listen, she don't shake her ass. I'm just messing with her. She a close friend of mine. She in California, Texas or California, but I'm just messing with her. She know I'm messing with her.
Hey, Skip, there's something here that says that the cheerleaders' average yearly earnings is $75,000.
I saw that.
That's not that bad.
But it's went up. It's went up. But if you live somewhere like California, that's not a lot of money.
Right. Most of them are married, though. You know, most of these chicks, let me make sure my wife can't hear me, most of these chicks are pretty good looking. So,
oh, yeah. 99% of them are.
You know, so they all married. No, of them are probably married.
Yeah, some of them
so the husband probably got something good going on. They doing all right. This 9 times out of 10, this $75K is just their vacation money.
Think about this. The lowest, I think the minimum NFL salary is $1 million.
I think it's less than that, Skip.
Sign me for a 2-day contract.
Well, it's no less than $750,000.
Yeah, I think it's around that. I think it's around.
So we're talking about $750,000 to sit your ass on the bench and just hold and fight for your position during all season. Whereas these women have to work 20-hour days for $75K, and they represent your football team. Think about this: the Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders are just as famous as a star.
You're right. 100%.
And they make $75,000. You see what I'm saying? So it's menial compared to what everybody else is making, and they work twice as hard. They get a $2,500 bonus for each game they perform in. Oh,
I didn't know that.
Okay, so that's 2,500 times 16.
4,000. I mean, I'm sorry, 40,000.
Yeah, that's more than 40.
No. So every 2 games is 5,000.
No, it's 40,000.
40,000. I said 4,000. I meant 40. So okay.
Yeah. So you get so that's 110. So that's 115,000 a year.
That's still nothing compared to what the average player makes or what the average salary is around the
100%. You know they say that the best position in football to be in the NFL is the backup quarterback. Financially, the best position is to be the backup quarterback.
Well, now hold on. Because, see, backup quarterbacks become expendable if they haven't proven their worth.
Right.
Because Garoppolo was on his rookie contract when he got traded. He wasn't making any money. Once he went to San Francisco, and after that first year, they re-signed him, and that's when he got his big contract.
But that was after he had showcased himself.
Yeah, I mean, he showcased himself. Yeah, he did. I mean, he showcased himself. But did New England say, you know what? You're going to be the backup of Tom Brady. We ain't trading you. So being a backup is not all that glorious now because you look at some of these quarterbacks that played for 5 or 6 teams.
Well, everybody wanted him, though. Everybody wanted him, though, after that. So New England said, oh, we can get a whole bunch of capital for him now that everybody wants him. That's why they pulled the trigger on that trade.
And that's why they sent him out west. Because the owner of New England did not want him to replace Tom Brady at that time. He still believed that Tom Brady and Belichick didn't. That's why Belichick played and kept him around like he did because Belichick was the GM. And he was like, oh, no, I got Tom Brady's backup. So if he gets to talking about how he wants more money, we can ship his ass on out, get the draft picks and some more stock, and put Garoppolo in. And the owner, Kraft, got Garoppolo out of there, not Belichick. So, no. And that's knowledge. That was posted. That's actually what happened.
I think Garoppolo was a solid quarterback. I think San Francisco should roll with him and keep him before they turn everything over to
Hell
second chance. I
no.
think they should keep him.
Okay, football fan.
They took him to the NFC Championship this year.
Football fan. I'm gonna take my 49ers hat off. When we made the Super Bowl the first time with Garoppolo, why did we lose? Like you said, he couldn't get the ball 40 yards down the field. We had receivers that was 3-4 yards behind the quarterbacks, and he underthrew them 3 different times, and we lost the Super Bowl. This year, why did we lose the Super Bowl?
He made a lot of
everybody. So don't tell me about he should stay there, because if the defense is busting their ass, and your boy number 19 can't think his name now. Wide receiver / running back.
Debo Samuel.
And the quarterback do some dumb shit versus taking a sack so you can still have another down the plate and cost us the game. Hell, get him out of here. You got a youngster on the bench that's 2 inches taller, stronger arm, more athletic. Why keep him? Because his resume now is got bullet holes in it. He was a shit when he was in that system, Belichick's system. You get here with a hell of a defense, all the weapons you need, damn good offense around you, and you fuck the game off.
All right, Skip. Last take.
Anyway, okay.
Last take. Anything from tonight? Final word on whatever you got.
Last take, final word. Steph Curry. Let's talk about him. I'm not a Steph Curry fan. I don't like him. I don't like Golden State. Of course, I'm a Lakers fan. But if Steph Curry can be an ambassador for these kids learning to do more than just shoot, in my opinion, he'll elevate his stature in the game to more than being just a great shooter. Because Steph Curry can do it all as a point guard or 2 guard. He can drive. He can facilitate. He can set you up. He also can do the pick and roll because he has the handles, he has the vision, and then he can shoot. He shoots free throws better than 90%. So if he throws camps and actually does things to let people know, don't just learn how to shoot. Learn how to do everything else. And you too can be here at 5. What is he, 6 foot, 6'1"?
I think he's 6'1".
You see what I'm saying? So in my point, he needs to do more to let people know that it's not just shooting that got him there. Because shooting is not not the only thing, the reason they drafted him. He's a hell of a guard. But it's overshadowed because he stepped across half court to pull that bitch up. And he got the green light because he's so good at everything else.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So that's my opinion on that.
He's a great penetrator, a great passer. I mean, I would think that his only flaw is the fact that defensively he is not able to.
What is that?
Do what he's supposed to.
Who set off that car alarm?
That's somebody. I apologize for that. That's terrible.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
Right.
Go ahead with your point.
Anyway, that just made me lose my train of thought. I apologize for that, everybody.
Well, then go ahead and give me your last.
No, you were talking about
all the female dancers out here in the world. Much respect. So much goes into it. I love it when I see it. It is not just shaking your ass. I know it's so much more to that. Even your dancers that are dancing in some of the clubs where you might take your clothes off, it's an art. It's beautiful. It's wonderful. It takes a whole lot to do what you do, and I appreciate all of you. And much respect, and keep doing what you're doing because it definitely is more to me than just going out there and shaking your ass. Way more to it than that. That's my final thought on everything. Out of all the stuff we talked about, that's the one thing that stuck with me the most.
Hey man, look.
I'm going to continue to go to these establishments and watch your artwork every single chance I get because that's exactly what it is. It's art. I have never seen some of the things that I've seen some of you women do, and I think it's wonderful. So,
and on that note, we take our final shot of the night. This is our last shot in the dark.
Hey man, my co-host just threw me under the damn bus. Damn you, Detroit fan. And I stand by what I said. How about that?
Well, I'm Cam for Mr. Skip and Skip's Trophies and More. And Henry, thank you for watching, everybody. We will see you next week on Last Take, a Shot in the Dark.
Hey, man, we out here. Peace out. Peace out.
Tune in next week, for real. Tune in next week.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man.